the best ever, the most decorated wrestler in Kentucky history. Our guest here today, he really needs no introduction, but sir, if you would, go ahead and tell us who you are.
My name is Dominic Black.
And you are the 1987 185-pound state champion from Henry Clay High School.
That is correct.
Most outstanding wrestler that year.
Yes, sir.
And you have a list of achievements that we're going to go over that, like I said, the best ever, the most decorated wrestler in Kentucky history, and it's not even close, and you guys are going to see why. But before we go any farther into the video, Dominic, how do you find wrestling? What gets a young Dominic Black into wrestling at Henry Clay High School?
Man, I'll tell you, I've told this story a few times. I was accompanying a friend to the tryouts, and I had no intentions of participating. I came in, I sat on the wall, and
that's the way it usually goes, right?
Norman Powell was the head coach at the time,
right.
And then Garrett Headley was the assistant coach. I go in and I sit down, and I'm kind of watching, and it's kind of like, hey, you're here, why don't you just come out? And then I went out and messed around a little bit, had fun that first day. And then I kept coming back, and my friend didn't come back.
Okay.
But I kept coming back, and then next thing you know, it was like, hey, I was in the lineup.
You're on the starting rotation now. You started as a freshman, I guess.
I did. No, 10th grade.
10th. So, okay, I got you. So the beauty of this series is not necessarily just getting to meet with guys like yourself, see the video, have it for the family, have it for, basically all time, is you're going to have youngsters, young coaches, parents, guardians, caretakers. You have, youngsters, whether it's a boy or girl, because girl wrestling now is adopted as Kentucky, and Kentucky as a sanctioned sport, is you are getting ready to be able to hear stories from the best wrestler in Kentucky history, decorated, that there's nobody else we can get that is more decorated than Dominic is. So you're going to have Dominic's knowledge for replay as many times as you want, no matter where you are. You're, maybe cutting weight, maybe you're going to a tournament, maybe you're thinking about going out for a team. Listen to what he has to say, because you're going to get knowledge here that you can't get anywhere else. I mean, you're going to get information, little nuggets of knowledge from him, just listening to him talk about his journey from high school all the way to competing at the world level, the world competition level. So just listen to what he has to say and take it all in. Replay it as many times as you want. I'm sure. You're wearing an Anderson wrestling shirt now.
Yeah.
You was kind of tell us that story, where you're at now with your wrestling life.
So currently I'm the head JV coach at Anderson High School, and I started out. I went there just to volunteer. It's the high school where my kids go to school, and so I wanted to be a part of something and kind of give back to the wrestling community, because I was coming to the end of my military career. So I retired back in December, and I showed up to be a volunteer, but then they put me on the staff.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. I mean, I just can't see why they're like, hey, oh man, we ain't got no place for you, man. Sorry about your luck. No, that's in Ohio, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
it's in Cincinnati.
And Cincinnati, has one of the best. That little pocket, Cincinnati, Hamilton County, has one of the best. Wrestling just year round that you can possibly, in, the eastern part of the United States, is great wrestling right there.
No, it's pretty good. So and the head coach there at Anderson, Brad Gartner, has done a great job. And one of the wrestling families there, the Morency family, their son is he'll be competing at state. Well, actually, both their sons will be competing at states this weekend. But they run the youth program, and they do a really good job with the youth program. And so, if you're going to have a state championship team, it starts with the grassroots. And getting the youth program going, because that's where your team championship is going to come from.
Right. You led me perfect segue into my next topic. Is you said you started as a sophomore. Now that would have been what, 85, I guess?
Yeah.
Did Henry Clay or any Lexington area schools have like youth, middle school, anything of that you remember?
Nothing that I can remember back then.
I'm just curious.
The first time I had heard about AAU wrestling, I was a freshman in college.
Okay.
And so it was new to me.
On the way over here to do this video this evening, I met with Josh Ashbrook. You guys have seen Josh and Scotty Teeter from Tates Creek, and I met them there right up the road from where we are, and there was a karate gym, and I think they had on the side like kids wrestling. So to see karate gym, karate academy, studio, whatever, to be advertising kids wrestling, like you said, people are now starting to see the value of starting youngsters as youngsters, making it fun. If you win some, you lose some. As long as you're out there getting used to the sport, and we're not really concerned about getting a scholarship as a 5th grader or as a 7-year-old. It's just getting out there, learning, having fun. Is this something that we're going to enjoy? Is this something that maybe it's not for? Because let's face it, wrestling's not for everybody.
No, but there's a lot of great life lessons that are learned through wrestling, and just endurance, perseverance, and just showing up.
Absolutely.
And it just goes from there. And the younger you can do it, those reps, you got to get those repetitions in anyway, right?
And that it's like we're on the same the brain frequency here, because you led me into my the next point here that I'm going to make is 85 you're on the team as a sophomore, and back in that era, even when I wrestled, we had districts, regions. I think you guys had semi-state, a couple, and now into the state tournament. So reading the story the KHSAA published a couple years ago about you from 2017, I think it says that you didn't make it to regionals as a sophomore. Is that correct?
No, I made it to regionals. I didn't make it to state. So I won districts that year. And
all right.
So,
as a first-year wrestler, right?
As a first-year wrestler,
right.
I won districts, and then I didn't make it out of region, though.
Okay, no, that's my mistake. So 86, though, let's go to 1986. Mm-hmm. You are 167 pounds, and, of course, it's at Atherton, Louisville there. And you get to the semifinals, and you're wrestling Steve Bailey from Hopkinsville. Now, this Steve gets a 6-3 decision on you in the semifinals. Steve was in the 1985 finals, same weight class against Matt Shotwell from Connor. That video is on the channel. But Steve's goes on that year to win it big in the finals, 13-2 decision in his final match. Now, a little bit of history about Hoptown in case you're just new to the channel. In the 80s, Hoptown they were the show. They won it back-to-back years, 85, 86. You had your Steve Baileys. You had your Gator Herrings, your Aaron Herrings, Troy Baileys, all these guys. And, they had some hammers back then.
They had some hammers.
Then, even through the 80s and 90s, you had your 92 team, your Willies, your Miguels, your Livingston. So Hoptown was a hotbed. It was just a on-fire hotbed for wrestling. So no shame, though, in losing to Steve there on that. But I found this interesting today in my research. Is in the first round, you wrestle Marcus Turnley from Christian County, and you win looks like a 14-1 decision over him in the first round. Well, wrestling back for third place, guess who you're wrestling? Marcus Turnley from Christian County, and you went a close 9-7 decision there. So, you had to wrestle the same dude first round and for third place. I'm not saying did he figure you out, but were you just like more cautious? Because
it's just kind of one of those things. It's like you have to wrestle in wrestlebacks, and it's tough to come out of the semis and then make your way back. And that's another place where the team championships are won, is you get you guys to wrestlebacks. But that day, I remember wrestling Steve, and man, we went hard. That dude was tough.
Yeah, Steve
right?
is.
And so I remember after that match, I was disappointed, of course, and I was walking by, and Steve was sitting on the floor, And he goes, hey, come here for a minute. And so I walked over there, and he just looked up at me, and he goes, he was exhausted. I know I made him tired.
Yeah, hey.
So,
yeah.
But he looked up at me, he goes, that was the toughest match I had all year. And I was like, thanks, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, right?
Kept it moving. But, man, Marcus was ready. He came back. He was fired up. He wanted to beat me.
In case you don't know, in case you're not familiar with the geography, Hopkinsville is Christian County's seat. So the Hopkinsville Christian County duo, man, they were tough. And that's where Fort Campbell is as well. Fort Campbell, they had some good kids, some good wrestlers back then, but not as good as, Hoptown Christian, just pumping dudes out right after left. And a footnote that I do want to say is Steve's brother, Troy, 1988, 160-pound state champion. Steve, we got up with Steve. We got the video for Troy's match, 1988, and we're going to be doing his memorial video for Troy. Troy's no longer with us, so we're going to be meeting with his family and doing a memorial video. So, Dom, I have to ask you, 1986, you guys are going to see, by the way, I have the, I'll show it to you later. Okay. We have the awards presentation of you getting your third place medal, 1986.
In the 167 weight class, in fourth place, Marcus Fernley of Christian County High School. In third place, Dominic Black of Henry Clay High School. The 167 runner-up for 1986 is Mark Richardson of Woodward Kickley.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. The jump from third place to most outstanding between your junior and senior year. What did you do? What did you discover about you that led you from being, and there's nothing wrong with third place. I mean, third place is very respectable, but what was it about you that went from third place to being the most outstanding wrestler?
Confidence.
Good answer.
Man, so after that match, and I remember one of my teammates, his name was Kevin Wade, and I'm not sure if Kevin placed that year, I can't remember, but we're sitting in the bleachers, and Kevin looked at me, shakes my head, goes, we'll get him next year. But at that moment, I was so sure. I didn't know who I was going to be wrestling or whatever, but I just knew I was going to win. And that's all I wanted. That's all I thought about for that whole year, and to get back there and just, I remember the first week of practice, and I wore like wrestling attire to school, which I never dressed like that going to school, but I came in, I was just so pumped about it. But man, the confidence, and then Coach Powell and Coach Headley did a good job of pumping me up a little bit, but at the same time keeping me grounded. I felt like I could beat everybody.
Now, to that, we'll go over this real quick. Henry Clay has, by my calculations, 21 state champions, and you were on a team with a couple of them. Shane Stamatis, 145 pounds in 1985. Chris Birch, 189 pounds, 1989. You got the three-timer Matt Zarth, two-timer Luke Mexico. I think Luke's a doctor now in Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken.
The Great House brothers were still there when I was there too.
Dave,
they moved away, but yeah.
126 pounds, 1983. Dave Greathouse. The Walterman guys, Steve and Dave, 77, 78 respectively. Just Henry Clay. I mean, overall, I would say Henry Clay has one of the, I'd say, top 10, top 15 athletic programs in every sport that, there is. Swimming, soccer, volleyball, you name it. They're always competitive. And I would have to say you are probably the crown jewel of the Henry Clay athletic program. It's either you or Sean Sutton. No, I'm kidding. It's you by far. It's not even close.
There was a swimmer there, and I can't remember her name. But she was on one of the Olympic teams.
Oh, no kidding.
But I have to concede to her. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Now, the 1980, this would normally be the part of the video where I would say, gee, let's go over your 1987 bracket. Well, guess what? The KHSAA website, I guess whenever they got the papers, it only goes to the 145-pound weight class. It doesn't go any farther than that. So I do have the placers, though, top four placers. Fourth place, James is it Flowerny?
Flowerny, yeah.
From Oldham County, 4th place. It doesn't have a first name, just Washburn from Fern Creek. Did you wrestle any of these guys?
Yes, I wrestled all of them.
Okay.
So yeah, I wrestled James, I believe, at regionals or semi-state.
Okay.
And then I think it was Chris Washburn was his name.
Okay.
And I can't remember where was it semi-state or where I ran into him. It might have been an earlier round at the state tournament.
I got you. I wish, like I said, I wish I had your bracket. It's not on there. Now in the finals, you're wrestling Roger Holloway from, of all places, Hoptown. And the thing about Roger is he was the 1986 185-pound state champion, and he was a vital part of that 85 and 86 state championship teams back to back. But we'll talk more about that later. We've got a lot to get to. Now, what did you do? Because this is why I said earlier in the video, the most decorated wrestler, the most celebrated wrestler in Kentucky history is you. And I want you, to tell the story. You graduate Henry Clay in 87. Where does life take you from there?
I went to West Virginia University on a wrestling scholarship there. So the connection with WVU was Garrett Headley was friends with Craig Turnbull, who was the head coach at WVU.
Okay.
And just got my name out there. And then, of course, Joe Carr, was down at Woodford County, and Nate was the assistant coach at WVU at the time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
That was Joe actually helped with the recruiting process. I think Garrett Headley, Coach Headley, started the process, and then I just remember when Craig and Nate came to visit, and Joe, we were all at my mom's house for that visit. But anyways, I end up at West Virginia University and training with Nate as Nate was getting ready to go for the '88 Olympics.
And I was getting ready to say that should be right around his Olympic time, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And just to be a freshman in that room,
I
to
can
have
imagine
somebody that was competing and training at that level. It was. I just had fun showing up to practice and being a part of it.
And Nate goes on that year. I think it's third. He places third in the Olympics.
He took a bronze.
That's what
he should have won. It was a controversial loss to the Korean, I believe it was.
So, but you're wrestling an Olympic level wrestler as a practice partner. I mean, that can't do anything but make you take you to the next level.
Yeah, so, coming from a high school room and then going to a college room is a big difference. But to leave the high school room, go to a college room where there is a Olympic bronze medalist in waiting, it definitely changes things. And so I'll tell you, I felt like I was at wrestling school over again.
I can believe it. I can absolutely believe it. That's not too many people can say they wrestled with a bronze medalist as a practice partner. I mean, that you just can't. That's just training experience that you just don't get. So you arrive in 1980. I guess your first year would be the 87-88 season.
Yeah.
And how'd that go for you? Just kind of walk us through.
So there is a big joke amongst the WVU guys, my old teammates. Because I started off, I was so bad. I was like 0-11 before I won my first match. And any of those guys will tell you, Craig Turnbull, they laughed. They said, "No, you were like 0-17."
Oh, I got you.
But
I feel you.
I finished the year around 500 or whatever. I battled back. But it was just so different. It was the first time to where my shortened introduction to wrestling had aired its ugly head. I just hadn't, 4 years on the mat, and then I'm in a college room in that fourth year. So I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to battle through. But that was the biggest thing is, man, when you say show up, it's the simplest thing to say is show up, but when you do show up, and you put the work in and you go and then just slowly start to see things shift.
And young, kids, listen to what he's telling you. I mean, you're not going to go out and of course you guys know I officiate, and we see so many kids, for lack of a better word, I guess, kind of throw temper tantrums or whatever. They want to come out and win every match. I mean, who doesn't want to win? Nobody goes, all right, guys, 1, 2, 3, second place, or 1, 2, 3, runner up, whatever. Everybody wants to win, and you see, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, throwing headgear, throwing tantrums, whatever. But understand, I mean, yeah, you might be going through taking your lumps now, but you get into middle school, you get into high school, you're probably not going to be taking as many lumps. So it's a progression. It really is. It's not just a I don't want to say get rich quick scheme, but you've got to build like Dominic has said. Now, 80, 89, kind of walk us through that. Give us a few.
So my second year, we started to put a pretty good team out on the map.
Mm-hmm.
I was at 177, and man, I was making a huge cut to get down there. But
I was going to ask you about that.
It was a 23-pound cut from Monday to noon on Wednesday, and then I'd go back up and then do it again for the weekend. And so a lot of interesting times.
I can only imagine.
In getting there, but I got a little bit better, and my winning percentage definitely went up that year. And I went to NCAA's, and that was my first NCAA trip.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were in Oklahoma that year in Tulsa. But into my year out there, I got into the blood round, and it was one of those kind of matches. It's like, if I win this match, I gotta go cut 10 pounds after it's over, and it was a close match, but I'll be honest with you, my heart wasn't broken when I lost that match, and I can't remember who it was that I wrestled at the time, but I was just happy I didn't have to cut that weight.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get to a point you're just like, I'm mentally done. I want to be. So kind of fast forward, as a senior, 1991, and you are coming in to the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Were you like number 1 seed, number 2, number 3 seed?
So the new rankings that just came out, I was ranked number 1, and then showed up at.
I've actually got that highlighted right there on my notes. You're the number 1, so I was hoping you'd say that.
And then I was seeded number 1 at the tournament. Man, it was one of those moments that because it happened like right before nationals, and I wished it hadn't. Because, I know for myself, I performed better as an underdog. And, man, I would have loved to have been the 8th seed.
Right.
But because it means something. And I'll tell you, losing to Kurt Strom in the quarters, and then I lost again to him for 3rd and 4th, the biggest thing that I remember, and it still haunts me today, from NCAA's that year is, I hear the announcer, Sandy Shields, saying, "We got a number 1 seed going down on mat 11."
No kid.
Oh
my gosh.
But it happens. But anyways, just from going, and at this time, that's only my 7th year of wrestling, and so there's a lot of positives to come out from doing that and recognizing that, and I think for this sport, and just in any sport in general, you have to pull something positive. You have to have the lesson learned to come away from that. And I think that was like one of the biggest gifts that Craig Turnbull, the head coach at WVU, had given us and equipped us and prepared us to be able to do that on our own.
Now, like you said, that's make it to the quarterfinals of it's 190-pound weight class in 1991. I think it says it's at Iowa.
Yep. Does
that sound about right?
Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Carver. All right. Now, of course, you medal and you become an All-American in 1991, 4th place.
Yep.
And we're going to go over Kentucky's All-Americans here just in a second. But before we get there, I want you to kind of tell us what you was telling me before we started filming. In the finals that year was Paul KHSAA, right?
KHSAA, yeah.
KHSAA, and some guy named Randy Couture.
Yeah.
The Randy Couture was in your bracket, and you was actually telling me that you and him may or may not have wrestled a couple times.
Oh yeah. So this was fun for me. So after we didn't meet up at this tournament, and we came close to meeting up in Vegas, but we didn't wrestle each other until after we were both on the international scene. But we showed up at a one of the regional tournaments in Toledo. I think it was Toledo, Ohio, and I beat him in a freestyle match.
Yes, I'm glad you said that.
But after that, Randy he challenged me to a Greco match, and I knew better than to do that.
Oh yeah.
Dude was tough.
Oh man, my knees acting up. I don't know what's. I'm just 100%. I want I don't want to cheat you.
Yeah.
Did you ever send him a message or anything? Say, hey man, anytime you want to put the title up, I'm still in shape, right?
No, I had to leave that one on. But Randy was good. I remember. So prior to joining the Army, we were at the Olympic Training Center, and I was actually talking to Randy about joining the Army, being a part of the World Class Athlete Program, and he was one of the folks that kind of like gave me that confidence and encouragement to go ahead and join. But we were Sunkist Kids teammates.
Okay.
Back in the day.
So you're with Randy on it's called the Sunkist. Is that correct?
Yeah, Sunkist Kids. Art Matori was the president of Sunkist, and he pretty much funded all of us.
Now, is that for people that don't? Because I'm not familiar. Is that freestyle only? Is it Greco and freestyle? Is it?
No, it was Greco and freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't, and I don't want to be. I'm sure other people had the same questions. Now, you have a very extensive, very successful international, national wrestling career that I don't think gets talked about nearly enough for you being a Kentucky wrestler. So kind of walk us through your national, international, or whatever the correct wording is. I don't want to, say anything about the wording not being correct, but just kind of walk us through that, because you have like I said, very extensive, very successful international career.
Yeah, so I started out, I think it was in 95 was when I won my first World Cup. And then we also won the team championship that year. And I was, going about, I went through the 96 Olympic trials. I think I finished fourth in the actual mini tournament or whatever, fifth overall in the trials. Then, kind of after that, stayed on the grind. And eventually, won my first university freestyle championship. And then that kind of set everything in motion. Right after college, I wrestled for Sunkist Kids Wrestling Club. And then after the 96 Olympics, I changed clubs. I started wrestling for the New York Athletic Club.
Okay.
Under the New York Athletic Club, I had won my first national championship, and then carried into my first world team. And just, along the road, won, things like the Sunkist International, Dave Schultz Memorial, and then a couple of, World Cup championships, team championships, and then I think it left with 2 world team trials championships, and alternate on the 2000 team. I'm kind of rambling.
No.
Hey,
That's exactly what this video is for. Is, like I said, people just don't know. I mean, people just do not know just how successful and how many competitions that you have competed in, won, been alternate for the Olympics. Now, all this is going on while you're in the United States Army. Is that correct?
Yes. So I joined the Army in '97.
Okay.
And as a member of the World Class Athlete Program, and so that allowed me to train full time to be in that program, but also have a career, because you kind of start your Army career, military career.
Right.
And I went through 2 quads in the World Class Athlete Program. When I say quad, I mean Olympic quad. So I competed for the Army for 8 years prior to going off to
I got you.
doing my regular soldiering stuff. But in the Army, that's where I won my other national championship, totaling me out to 3 national championships.
Just 3. That's all. Just 3. Just 3 national championships. No biggie.
And then made my second world team. And then I won the military world championships. And I was actually in the Army when I won the Pan Am Games as well.
Did you catch that? Won the Pan Am Games? I want to make sure everybody, because we have medals you guys are going to be seeing later, but that'll come a little bit later. So, just really quick, like, I know it's like comparing, apples to a gallon of gasoline, but what is, like, in a nutshell, the difference between, like, high school competition as opposed to, like, an international level? I guess I know it's freestyle. I know it's 2 different things. But as far as, like, your preparation, are you doing the same things? Are you still drilling the same? Just kind of walk us through that.
So, those things never change. You just try to refine it, right? And so a single leg takedown is the most used takedown when you start wrestling at schoolboy level and when you get to international level. I guarantee you it's 80% of the first takedown in a senior event, world championships, single leg takedown, regardless of how you get there. And the drilling is so important is because, the repetition, and then at some point athleticism kind of takes over a little bit, because I've been in on this leg 1,000 times and I've turned a corner 1,000 times, but there's some other things that, you might encounter in a scramble that is not part of the regular drilling process. But the thing about the drilling is you drill a technique till you perfect the technique, and then it's easy for you to make adjustments off of it when you get into a scramble.
Kids, listen to what he's saying. I'm telling you, you have one of the best wrestlers that's ever put on a singlet giving you advice. I'm telling you, listen to what he's telling you. Listen to what Dominic is telling you. So, you go through your Army career, and I don't want to say it wrong, but did you become, was it a commander or like a commanding officer over like the wrestling?
Yeah, so it was the Army's. I was a commander of the Army's World Class Athlete Program.
Okay.
So when I was competing, I was one of the athletes in the program. But after my competing days were done, I came back, was commander. I think at the time, we're talking, in the entire Army, we're talking about like barely 100 people. And so you're taking regular soldiers who have Olympic level talent, and you let them come and they train year round and you get to go. I traveled to the 2008 Olympics to Beijing as the Army representative.
No kidding.
With our
Wow.
we had I can't remember how many athletes we had in the Beijing Olympics, Army athletes,
right.
But we had a good number. But that program, it was pretty amazing. So we had all of the combat sports. We had wrestling, boxing, judo, taekwondo, and then there was a few other of the Olympic sports that we had 5 different geographic locations where we trained for summer and winter.
Wow, man, that is amazing. Our friend of the channel, Dave Ritchie, of course, it was back in the 80s. Dave graduated in 86, and he competed with Randy Couture on the Army team. There's actually a photo that Dave brought, and we got him and Randy in the same photo. So that's an honor, to be a part of that. And you were the commanding officer of that whole. That's
oh man, that was so cool. It was probably one of the cooler things that happened, because when I first came to that unit, and anybody knows the military, I came there as an E4, and I remember the commander was a major, and for whatever reason, you see something, like I want to be that guy one day. I want to command this place.
I got you.
And just to live it and then actually have it happen, it was pretty neat.
And on the way down here, we're doing this video in Lexington today. On the way down here, I was trying to formulate a like a, Randy the Natural Couture, Chuck the Iceman, Liddell, all these. And I was thinking, what would be a good like fight name or nickname for Dominic Black? And I saw the story that KHSAA done, but it was several years ago. And I was going to introduce him earlier as the Major Decision, because you were a major, the Major Decision, Dominic Black,
Yeah.
but you got promoted.
I got promoted, to Lieutenant Colonel.
And so there went that, but the promotion was worth it over my even if you compete later on, you still got to use that.
Oh, yeah.
The Major Decision, you know what I'm saying? What a better wrestler nickname, I guess, than that for somebody that's in the Army as a major. The Major Decision, Dominic Black. So
I like it.
we've kind of went over your history.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have pretty much a Hall of Fame level of memorabilia, stuff that you've won, that you have put the effort in, and you've won. And we're going to get those items, get them set, let you guys see them. And by far, this is the most medals, awards, trophies that we've ever got to show on the channel. So you guys are going to get to enjoy it. We'll see you there. You can't have a Hall of Fame career without a whole bunch of hardware. We're going to start off with that familiar Henry Clay. What is Henry Clay's official colors? Do you know? Is it like yellow and navy blue?
Oh, it's the blue and gold.
Blue and gold. Okay, see, we're learning. Now, this has your wrestling logo. I guess they're in the referee position. Just don't get a caution, guys. And I guess these come off your Letterman jacket, or they give them to you, or...
Yeah, they just gave us the letters.
And I see a football, so I guess you was a footballer back in the day, too?
Yeah, I had one season of football.
I got you.
I played a little baseball, too.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
All right, okay. I guess that was a varsity letter that you got. Now, this is... I'll let you tell us about it.
So, what we got here, this was my senior plaque from West Virginia University, and kind of captured my career here. All-American, 3-time NCAA qualifier, 2-time EWO conference champion, and then all-time takedown leader.
And to that, you guys are going to see why in the video. Just stay tuned, I promise.
Yeah, and then undefeated in dual meets my junior and senior year.
And of course, you guys are going to see photos of all that. So lay that to the side just for a second. You've got tell us about this one.
Oh yeah. So this was from my first World Cup.
His first World Cup, by the way.
Yeah. They gave us plaques that year, and so we got a medal to go with it too. But the plaque kind of caught us off guard. But
that's and it's got what? Canada, Iran, boo, Iran, Japan,
Japan,
Russia,
Russia,
boo, Russia, Turkey, and United States.
Yeah.
So, and it was like in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That is so cool that you can say you have that. You was on the World Cup representing the United States. And going to tell us about this one?
Oh yeah. So this was the World Team Trials.
That's all right.
Sorry.
No, we're fine.
World Team Trials in 2001, and man, I since I live in Cincinnati now, it's pretty neat that it says Cincinnati, Ohio on it. But just today, I was just realizing that it was in the Centos Center when we competed there, and my son just competed in the Centos Center too, except for he played basketball. I was wrestling. But,
I got you.
But that's why that kind of made me smile when I saw that. But World Team Trials 2001.
To that, this year we had the 3A state duels for Kentucky at Atherton Gym, and I vlogged it and I posted it on the YouTube channel, and so many people, I went through and was like, this was the stairs everybody had to run to cut the weight. This was and they're like, man, I've not been in that gym, and I can still smell the sweat. I can still remember, doing this, doing that. Now you called these stop signs.
Oh yeah, it was being on the Army team. We had so many people that were national champions. That was like we were breeding them, but we would stand around and everybody in the room was at least one-time national champ. And so the big thing was, how many stop signs do you have, right?
Yeah, right.
And so this was 2001 national championships. Always in Vegas.
Always in Vegas.
Made my second world team after this.
Now, for those like myself that don't, what age does seniors start at?
So it's really we looked at it as like after college.
Okay.
But you got Jimmy Carr, who made the Olympic team at 16. Could you compete at the level?
Yeah, well, and the reason I say that is if memory serves me right, back in the old UFCs, like 3, 4, 5, back when it was crazy, is Dan Severn is announced as winning like 2 or 3 senior AAU senior nationals. I just didn't know if that was like an age thing or like have to be out of college or how that
I think
went.
it's just a veterans thing, and so you're separating it. It's like you got a university and then senior nationals, and then for after the senior nationals, it's veterans is for the. I don't know when the veterans start. It was like 46 or 45 or something like that.
I don't know. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell us. Now you've got another stop sign.
Oh yeah, this was my first national championship in 1999. And the awesome thing about this one was my Army teammate, Dramil Byers, who was, Hall of Fame Greco guy.
Yep.
How they set the stage up when you're doing the finals, he was on the mat next to me wrestling Matt Gaffari, and then I was wrestling J.J. McGrew from Oklahoma. We're both in our finals matches, right?
And
so we won seconds apart. I think I won first. And it was like my match was ending, and I looked over and I saw his ending, and he was having I wasn't a big celebratory guy, but Dramil was. But I just remembered, we both won our first national titles almost simultaneously at the same time.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
that is so neat. Then you've got another one. So you got 3 stop signs.
Yeah. So this was the university national championship. And this was when I was really getting started in freestyle.
I got you.
And so, man, after it took a year. So I won this one in '93, but I started like right after I graduated. And that first year, just the small transition, that short transition from scholastic to freestyle. I took some lumps at first. I had to,
And to that point, we was talking about youngsters pay attention. I mean, you went from placing 4th at the NCAA's in what's I guess we call it folk style, transitioning into, even though you're a All-American wrestler, like you said, taking some lumps in a new system. So even if you don't be afraid to try something new.
Oh no.
Never be afraid to try something new, especially if you still have the drive, still have the desire to do it. If you take a loss or 2, big deal, move on with your life. But don't be afraid to try.
You can't be afraid of losing either. If you find yourself avoiding the best guy in the room, that's a problem. You want to be with that person. You want to wrestle with that person because they will make you better, right? And then losing, nobody wants to lose, but if you lose a match and you don't learn anything from it, then it's a huge loss. But if you lose a match and you learn something from it, then you actually gained.
And earlier we were talking about the Hopkinsville, they like 3-team state titles, 85, 86, 1992. But a friend of the channel, Willie Ennels, 3-time state champion, 1992, most outstanding. He said that whenever Hopkinsville, whenever they were rolling, they went to a tournament and they found out they were given the most outstanding wrestler, where they started like, I'm going to win it. No, I'm going to win. No, you ain't. I will. I'll pin my guy in 8 seconds. You ain't winning it. So that was, great to have team competition. If they know they're going to be winning a most outstanding wrestler award, that's what, I want to win, of course, but I want that most outstanding trophy. So, have goals, shoot for them. Don't be afraid if you get beat. Life is going to go on, but don't be afraid to try something new. Now, of course, 1987, you win. You're 185 pound. You also win most outstanding wrestler. There's a story, we're going to get to that when the time comes. But in 1986, you win the, go ahead, hold that up there, everybody can see, the Regional Outstanding Wrestler Trophy. And I would say the region that you guys were in then, with, your Woodfords, all that, I would say that was probably the toughest region in the state. If it wasn't this one, it was either the Northern Kentucky region. Most Outstanding Wrestler Award, man, that's cool that you got that.
So the neat one about this is it was still at 167, and I think I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure I beat Mark Richardson from Woodford County in the finals of regionals that year. That's probably why I got OW.
I'm sure that if Mark is still with us or his family, I'm sure he'll probably reach out because your video we know is going to be crazy popular. Everybody's going to be watching it. So Mark, if Dom laid the smackdown on you, man, put it in the comments. Now we got the one of the two most out. I'll let you hold that because that is your baby. Most Outstanding Wrestler trophy from 1987.
Yep.
Now, when we get to the end of the match video, I want you to tell the story of what happened to the other one.
Okay.
But you have this one, so there's a little, we call that a tease in the entertainment business, of what happened to his other Most Outstanding Wrestler trophy he was awarded that day. But man, that's in phenomenal shape. I think it's called the Classic. But just, the names of Kentucky Most Outstanding Wrestlers, your Isaac Knables, your Joe Carrs, your Bruce Stepps, your Dominic Blacks, your Dave Barnes, your Kyle Rochelle's, just the names, the weights, the geography in the state. It's not just a pocket of, it's so spread out. Your Dave Ritchie's in 1986. You've got Dave Ritchie in 86 on the far western part of the state. You in 87 in Lexington. Dave in 88 from Northern Kentucky. So it's all over the state. Good wrestling all over the state. Now, of course, the whole point of winning an award is getting the medal. I think it'd be cool if, they gave like championship belts like you get on, MMA, boxing, WWF, all that kind of stuff. I think that it goes with the sport, right? But you've got some amazing medals here. And we're going to start off with, I said Dave Ritchie's, in his video, I said his Army All-American medal was probably the most prestigious that we have. But I think this is going to top it. So, sir, if you would, tell us all about it.
So this was 1999 Pan Am Games in Winnipeg, Canada. I had a, longtime adversary from Cuba, Wilfredo Morales. We actually became, friends over the years. We wrestled so many times, but I wrestled Morales in the finals in Winnipeg this year and won a close match. But it was my one and only Pan Am Games medal.
That is, and I mean, come on, United States Army, Cuba, come on. Even though you might be buddies with, you can't let the fighting Fidel Castro's, knock you out. Now, you've got a bunch of medals here. I'm just going to hand them to you and let you tell us all about them. So, tell us about this one.
So I was on a few World Cup teams. Mm-hmm. And so with the World Cup, you get a medal for the team championship, and then you get a medal for the individual championship if you win it. And so individual championships, I won one, and then I had a second and a third. And then I think I have a total of 4 or 5 actual World Cup gold medals. Wow. And so these are just from the different ones. And you can see some of them are missing some of their ribbons because my younger son Cassius used to play with them all the time. And
yeah, hey, I can feel you on that. Now,
but what is it? This is the 99 World Cup.
99 World Cup team?
Yeah.
Wow. And as you hear sirens go by, tell us about this one, like February 2000?
Yeah, this was, this World Cup was in, I think we're in Baltimore. No, we're at Washington, D.C., it says. But another World Cup medal.
This one, I believe, might be a little bit different color than...
Yeah, this was the individual one where I took bronze on this one. That was... in Baltimore.
Baltimore, you guys will see photos of all these. We're just letting Dom tell us all about them. Now, this one?
Yeah. So this is pretty cool because, the military has a world championships as well. And, each country, has a representative. Mm-hmm. I actually wrestled the the Turk that I wrestled in the finals of this. This is my world championship gold medal from the military world championships.
Now that's every military that participates, or I guess is friendly to participate in the world, correct? Okay.
And so the Turk that I wrestled this year, that was 2003. He got a bronze in the 2004 Olympics at heavyweight. So this was a heavyweight.
Wow.
Yeah, I wrestled heavyweight, then I cut back down to 190, or 212 after this.
And got another big gold medal here. I promise these are all not the same. These are different medals.
This was the team gold medal that went with my bronze from the World Cup in 2001.
Okay, and got the another USA, I guess a stop sign, if you will.
Yeah. So this was actually a World Team Trials gold medal from, what was it? I think it was 2001. But 2001 World Team Trials, my son ripped the ribbon off of it.
This is your third place state medal, I believe.
Yeah, this is the Steve Bailey medal.
Oh yeah, shout out Steve Bailey, shout out.
Yeah, so it was my third my junior year, and old tough match with Marcus there at the end for that third place.
Yep, shout out Marcus too. And then you have your 1987.
And this right here was, we call it the Roger Holloway.
Shout out Roger Holloway.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Now, you've also got, and we're going to pull these off of the carabiner. I'll let you tell us all about these too, because there's some other sports on there. So this one, I believe.
Okay, so this was Eastern Wrestling League Championship ring. We won our conference. What year was that? I think. Oh, it was a 177. So this would have been my junior year that we won a conference for the first time.
Wow,
that was pretty cool.
I'll tell you about.
Finally beat Penn State.
Boo, Penn State.
Then this ring right here is a Sugar Bowl ring. But when I was in grad school, I worked with the football team in the strength and conditioning.
That was at WVU.
That was at WVU.
Okay.
Yeah, West Virginia University. And we would have been national champions this year if we won the Sugar Bowl, but instead of being national champions, Big East champion.
What year was that? Was that the Steve Slayton, Pat White year?
This is 93.
Oh, okay, yeah, way. I thought that was my bad. That's my bad. This is another West Virginia ring.
Yeah, right here is this was another EWL conference championship. This was our senior year. Man, we had a good team that year. It was I think 4 All-Americans that year, which is I think the most we had in one season.
Wow.
But another conference championship.
And then the best for last.
Yeah, this is my old man. This is my my high school gemstone right here, and it just has a wrestling and then baseball on it. But I was wanting to put state champion on there, but yeah.
Should have, man. Got it. Now, you can't wrestle without a singlet. Mm-hmm. So tell us the story behind, you back it up a little bit so people can see. It's got the USA on the back of it.
So this singlet I had right here was the singlet that I wore in the World Championship Finals when I wrestled the Turk. And we were in Turkey as well. So, but World Championship Finals, military World Championships singlet right there. And
to that, it's got the United States on the back.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine, a United States Army personnel wanting the United States to be on the mat. Got to keep that red, white, and blue off the mat. Now this singlet right here.
Oh man, this singlet. So this singlet right here is pretty neat. And the thing with this singlet is Kevin Jackson, if you're out there watching. But so when I had made my first world team at the Olympic Training Center, Kevin Jackson was my coach at the time. He was a resident coach. But the neat thing about this singlet, not only I wore it in the finals of the World Team Trials that year and won, but Kevin actually gave me this. This was his '95 World Championship singlet. And so in the '95, when Kevin had won his last World Championships, this was one of his singlets, and I was his training partner. Got to go down there, be with him when he won, and whatnot. But when he turned into my coach and getting ready to go to the show, he gave it to me.
It's like Apollo giving Rocky the trunks, right?
Yeah.
Now, tell us just about this this photo right here. I'll cover me up so the shot looks a whole lot better.
Yeah. So, man, this is from the World Cup wrestling the Iranian here, and man, we were battling. But
I can tell you've got a couple war wounds going on.
Yeah, I split my eye or whatever, but we got to the end, and as you can see, his head was down, but we had a blowout match, and he was exhausted. And Bruce Burnett was, I tried to put it in cruise control. Bruce Burnett was the national team's coach at the time, but he's yelling at me, he's like, keep attacking.
Go, go, go. That's such a. Of course, you guys will see, a photo of this, and you've got to look the part before you get onto the mat. And this is your Team USA. Go ahead, tell us all about this one.
So I think this was the World Team jacket for 1999 World Team when we were out, and we're gonna show. You'll see a piece later where I was actually wearing this jacket at the Pan Am Championships on the medal stand when they did the presentation.
Dude, that's cool that you have the Jamie Johnson song. You should have seen it in color, and we're like, I'm not going to try and get on a sidebar here, but you said that you're going to see a photo of this here just in a minute. But for so long before we started this series is really the only thing that we had as far as like, and I've said it in other videos, you walk into a gym, they may have an old black and white photo, they may have a color photo, whatever, in a trophy case. You may see a name, on a banner or on a wall plaque or something. It doesn't tell the story. Like you go onto the KHSAA website and have all the brackets, for however many years back, and the magazine, it was called The Athlete, KHSAA used to put out, the photos were all in black and white. And the song the line in that song in color by Jamie Johnson is, you should have seen it in color. I mean, you should have been there. And that's what I love about this series, is being able to say, now we can see it in color. Yeah. We can see what we saw in black and white, or we saw grainy photos, or we've just been able, see at the end of a bracket, D Black decision, or Henry Clay 185. Now, not just with you, but everybody else we've got to meet with, is being able to bring your guys' stories to life, and to have for as long as time endures, you know what I mean? So we got one more jacket we're going to show you. Looks like it's like a sleeveless pullover.
Yeah, it was. So this year, this was ASICS wear, but they had 2000. This was a 2001 World Team, but it was a system. So you had the full jacket and
I got you.
To go to it. So yeah, it's not bad to wear around a little winter.
Oh yeah, no, that's
sport the guns.
And my man still got him. He could probably win the. I don't know what will come after the veteran level, but the. Would it be I don't want to say the senior citizen game. No, I'm kidding. So, forgive me for covering our guest up, but just want to show you here. Get my light out of the way. You guys will see a better photo of this. It's a big, big plaque. So, Dom, tell us all about this, man. While people are seeing a photo of this.
So, this was a piece done from the Herald Leader, and they were showcasing me as I was getting ready to go up for the Olympic trials and the 2000 Olympic trials. In the photo, it's captured Wilfredo and I. It was at the Pan Am Games. That was our actually live shot from our finals match from the 1999 Pan Am Games. And leading into that, and then down at the bottom, just the award stand photo. But
and that's the jacket that you just showed us. So, man, that, like I said, black and white photo, Lexington Herald Leader. I mean, great piece. But now being able to see that jacket in color, that you still have it, and to know the story behind it, you've kept it all. It's in phenomenal shape, by the way. I mean, it's just such a, and being the referee that I am, you got your shoes taped up, so
Shoes taped to the top.
No points on that one. But man, you can just tell you guys are you're sweaty. You can even tell in this photo. I mean, you guys are like he's trying to get wrist control. You've got wrist control on him. It's just such a great. If you know wrestling, you know what you're looking at. You know what I mean?
We were both trying to drag each other. It was funny.
Yeah, and got forehead to forehead, just getting ready to go at it, man. I love it. Rolando Gomez, was that somebody on your all's, like, do you know who that person would be by chance? I'm just curious because I seen that. I thought that might be somebody associated with the team.
I was scanning because, Mike Fields had done a couple of big articles on me along the way. But, yeah, no.
I'm starting the petition now. Dominic Black needs a statue on Richmond Road. So all you Henry Clay guys over that way, he needs a statue somewhere on Richmond Road. Preferably somewhere by the high school. But you went to West Virginia, All-American at West Virginia. You are in West Virginia's Hall of Fame, the West Virginia University Athletic Hall of Fame, well-deserved, as you should be. But kind of tell us the story of how you, because this plaque was it in the Memorial Coliseum or like the gym?
Yeah,
or
so all of the Hall of Fame bust was in the football stadium.
Football stadium. Okay,
so
that's right.
They had them up there on display, and then what they did was at some point they changed it to a digital presentation. And when they did that, the university sent us all of the original
that's
bronze
so
busts
cool.
they put up there. So
And
that was actually my Hall of Fame plaque that used to be on the wall at the football stadium at WVU. And then when they changed out, they sent them to us, which is pretty neat.
You can tell you've got a singlet on.
Yeah.
Do you know what, just out of curiosity, do you know what shot they used for the reference? Like, did you have to send them one? Did you have to?
No. So I think this was my sophomore year photo.
Okay. Hey.
It was the stock photo from the media.
I got you. No, hey, probably all they kept in their archive was probably that.
Yeah.
But that's so cool, man, that you have that. You know what I mean? And we can show it off in the video if people can see just how cool that is. So we've talked a lot. I know you guys are here for the video. Now, you have never seen this video.
I've not.
This will be the first time in, 36 years that you're going to get to see your state championship match. So we're going to get all this stuff cleared out, get our computer set. We're going to go back to Atherton, 1987. We'll see you guys there. All right, you guys are seeing what we're seeing. We're at Louisville Atherton Gym, 1987. Your first time being in the state finals. I guess this was your christening into being in multiple world international competition championship matches. So you win your semifinal match. You have, 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever it is. Are you off by yourself? Is Headley and your other coach talking to you? I mean, it was kind of, if you remember, kind of just walk us through what you're doing.
Yeah, no, listen, I was so relaxed, and I was just sitting in the stands watching wrestling, not really, engaging anyone, but kind of to myself, but out in the crowd. But I was just waiting for my turn.
I got you.
And it was good.
I guess you're coming in undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I read that in that article, but I just wanted to make sure.
I'll tell you what's pretty neat about that. So, at the time I was 40-0, and I had 39 falls leading up to that.
I got you.
Hadn't wrestled a whole match.
I got you.
I take that back. Early in the one of the first matches of the year, I wrestled one of the Wolford County guys, and I didn't pin him, but pinned my way to the state finals.
And
Rogers coming up. And Coach Headley says to me, because I cradled everybody, he goes,
okay.
Dominic, don't try to cradle him. He's too tall. He's like, just take him down. I was like, okay. I'm going to try to get 15 takedowns.
Well, I don't know if it's 15, but you're not too far off. Now, I do want to say, when we got the first batch of videos from the archive, we had the face-off, we had up to like 145 pounds, and then it went to the medal presentation. We didn't have Dominic's match. And our Christian County guys, D, Rob, all you guys down there, you found this, sent it to me, and your efforts are a direct result to being able to have this phenomenal state championship match and be able to let Dominic tell the full story, because I don't think your story would be complete without having the video.
Yep.
So without further ado, here we go for the face-off. So you have, Roger's coming out. You can tell he's got the swag. He's the champ. You know what I'm saying? Comes out walking slow. You know, Mike Tyson walking to the ring.
Yeah, he looked like a big giant too. Man,
he's
he was
big
so
dude.
tall.
You come out. He makes you come to him. Now it's going to cut right into the video. There you are. That traditional Henry Clay singlet.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of family in the crowd here today?
No, so I'll tell you.
Finish it.
Oh, come on.
There it is. 2.
Ah, man, I should have went for them back points. Should have ran that half. So this was the game plan, was to just take him down and let him go, take him down and let him go. My mom was here, and then my wife, girlfriend at the time, she was there. My mother-in-law was here.
Mm-hmm.
But that was about it that was up there. And Gene Washington officiating right there.
Oh, yep.
Man, we know Gene for a long time.
There it is. Turn it. 2.
Boom. I tell you, after the first takedown, when I lifted him up, I felt like I could shoot whenever I wanted at that point.
So you cut him. Got it at 4-2. My goodness. So 3 takedowns on him on the return state champion in less than a minute. Cut him.
About this time, my adrenaline's starting to go pretty good, and so I'm just feeling like I can shoot anything. You know, I got my head down. He's letting me come in so easy.
There. Now, had you wrestled Roger before this?
No, I'd never wrestled him before.
Okay, if I ask you that again, we talked so much stuff.
So the thing was, after I got out here and started moving a little bit, I figured like I'd be able to get some double legs off, single legs off, just because he was so tall. And I thought, like, I'm just going to hold position. I'm not going to let him get under me.
Right.
I kept head position, keep my head lower than his. And he about pulled my.
I was going to say,
he gave me a wedgie right there.
He's trying to take your temperature the hard way.
But he just kept letting me get head position. And so I just kept firing these shots off.
Which, I'm not saying it's his fault, because Hopkinsville had, Coach Placer and Harris and all those guys. That's just a testament to you and your technique and I'm not sure what the camera's doing there, but being able, because they had, I would say Hopkinsville back then, from top to bottom, had some of the best technique in the entire state. The videos that we've got of them. All right, end of the period. And it's 8-4. That's what I had it as.
Okay. And Roger was starting to make the adjustment a little bit. He was starting to get some sprawls in there and fight me out. I chose neutral into the second period.
Was that something you, I guess, decided beforehand they were?
Yeah, because we were thinking he was going to try to slow me down if he got on top.
I got you.
And I wanted to keep doing that. Come on, guy.
Drive. There
You
it is.
drive through that. So it's funny now, I tell these kids all the time, you get on a double leg, you got to finish with your head across the back. And then I see myself here, and I'm not finished with my head across the back.
Yeah. So many people said the exact, like, man, what am I doing there? What?
Yeah. It was like, turn the corner, drive across.
So he's down.
I really did feel like I could do a cradle and keep him down here, but, Coach Hadley was pretty adamant that, like, don't try to do anything. Just keep taking him down. And so I was just spending some time here a little bit, blowing the clock.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't finish this.
Nope. I think Gene gave him one right there.
Yeah, he got one.
Yep.
He got one for the escape because of loss of control.
Mm-hmm. So you're back at the line, ready. You can tell, man.
Oh, man, I was fired up. I was like, this dude almost took me down. I was ready to go. Turn the corner. Come on. Circle right. Circle right. Get your butt around. He let me get my head out. Boom.
Oh, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
Yeah, I came out of there. He was making me look like I was a big takedown artist right here, and honestly, it was position getting in there, and then some of that finishing. I think it was that summer. I laid 12-inch blocks off summer.
Okay. I was gonna say, I mean, you can tell you got some big arms, thick to your chest. You got some really good definition. Laying cement block will do that for you, though.
Yeah.
Don't back up. Don't back up.
Don't fight that down.
We're out. We're neutral. Back to the center. Do you remember hearing the crowd, hearing the like?
Man, it's like everything was just like tuned out. I hear the crowd noise, but I couldn't hear anybody like yelling anything out. But over the years, that's just kind of the way my wrestling developed. I could always block that noise out.
I got you.
And I tell you whose voice I could hear though was Nate Carr's.
I believe that. Now, was he here then?
No,
okay.
He wasn't. Joe was there, but Nate wasn't.
14-6. So it's his choice going in. I'm sure Coach Haley is, and I forget your other coach's name. I'm sorry. Is it Madden?
Norman Powell.
Powell. Are they like, hey, just cut him right here? What we thinking?
Yeah, it was, just hold him for a little bit, just to burn some clock.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up two. You never give up two. You give up the one, just let him go.
One,
get back
two.
up.
There
so
it is.
He got to his feet, get one, and it was too early to turn it off. So you got to keep shooting with this much time. Probably, it could be a little more cautious. I was a little reckless. I couldn't help myself. I was so pumped up that I just kept driving in. He was letting me get in on that double leg so much. And at this point, it's kind of like if I can get in on a leg and slow this match down and hold my lead, and you got to make your opponent work too.
Yep.
He's letting me get on the leg. I got a big lead, so he's either going to give me another takedown or he's going to waste some time trying to defend my shot or defend my finish. But in all of that, at this point, I'm really burning the clock.
Yeah, and you're not stalling either. I mean, you're taking it to him.
Yeah, I was in pretty good shape. I did all the stuff I was supposed to do. I later learned that it's called earning the right to win. Did you train like you're supposed to train?
Yep.
Did you eat like you're supposed to eat? Did you sleep? Did you hydrate and all those kinds of things? But like I said before, I felt really, really confident when I came out.
And something you said, I'm so glad you said that, is like you can't accidentally win a state championship. No. You might be able to show up to a tournament, accidentally win a match or two, but you're not going to accidentally be 40-0, 41-0, M41-0, and do what you're doing here just like I said by accident. It is proof of conditioning.
And at the time, I didn't know.
Oh,
man. I think that was the knockout punch on that one.
Yep.
I used to do that near side cradle.
Going for it, huh?
That was my shot. I love that near side cradle. But that was, Headley's telling me don't do it. But
back off.
Yeah, you got to get out of there. And really, these shots right here, man. I was just trying to get in and just to stop him from. You get to the end of the match, and you're down, and you got to go and get it. And so I was just trying to beat him to the punch. I didn't want to give him an opportunity to fire off on me.
And that's it. Final score: 18-9. A performance worthy of the 1987 Most Outstanding Wrestler Award, which you win. And
man, that's the first time I've seen this match.
And of course, we're going to give you a copy of it. We're going to give you, without us, in the video. That way you can have it. Here's the medal presentation. Get out of the way, guy in the blue.
Hey, that dude's name is Webb Beatty.
Oh, really?
One of my teammates, yeah.
Oh, we just moved out of the way of the camera?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Webb, what are you doing, man? Getting in the shot all those years later. Come on.
All right, there was Chris Washburn.
Oh, yeah.
Fern Creek. He was from Fern Creek.
Fern Creek,
Yeah.
yep.
Hey, I still got that poster. I remember, and that poster, it's got that's Gable like in the middle,
Oh, no kidding.
but it had Gibson. Gibson's in the bottom of there, and Gibson ended up wrestling in the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay.
And he was a Sambo World Champ. They have him listed in there. And neat
Wow.
thing for me, but I got to wrestle Gibson in the Armed Forces Championships.
No
And,
kidding.
Yeah,
Man, that's
I
awesome.
beat him at heavyweight.
What's the medallion on your neck there?
Oh man, so that was a Christmas gift. It was an eagle.
Oh.
I had a gold eagle back then. That was
Yeah.
we eagled it up.
I got you, man.
But
Man.
there was James Flaherty right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Oldham County, right?
Yep. Oh, there was Webb.
Yeah.
His old teammate.
Now,
Hey, so look right here. That was Mark Carr. That
Okay.
was, yeah, one of Nate's younger brothers.
this is the 1987
Look at
individual.
old Blaine
champion-
Heads is right there.
Yeah.
Was Marcus. So I had some of these pictures when we were in the locker room getting dressed.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now this was the editing on the video that I got. There you are. Now you've got another. You've got the classic that you just saw. You've got another state championship, most outstanding wrestler
Oh, that's
trophy.
Coach Powell.
Yep.
So that was Coach Powell's my head coach, and the plaque on the left here.
The state outline,
the,
correct?
The state outline plaque. I gave that one to Coach Powell and asked him to keep it. And so that's why I don't have it today, but I hope he still has it.
And that's what that was my next question. You know if he still has it or not. So, I mean, that's so cool that you were able to give that to him. Hey, coach, thank you for all you've done for me. So, did it play out the way you remembered it, other than you winning, like the takedowns and all that? You remember, like, does it all the matches that you've had in your career? Does it still play out the way?
Yeah. So like seeing that, I mean, that's kind of how my career went.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a takedown guy. Even in college, that was my whole goal was to try to get 15 takedowns every match, and that was just the way we trained, the way I trained, and again wrestling with Nate. That was it. You had to attack. You want to be an attack style wrestler.
Oh yeah, I could see him just if you got caught underneath him or something, just kabah.
Yeah.
You're going to the trainer's tent with a concussion.
Oh man, the duck under to the body lock.
Forget it.
Forget about it.
I can. And there's that icon. I'll insert a photo of it here of Nate with all of his medals on. You can just tell that dude. I mean, he is jacked. He's just ripped.
I gotta say this on camera.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
By
yeah.
the time I was a junior, Nate didn't wrestle with me anymore in the room.
Uh-oh.
I got you, Nate.
Uh-oh.
Don't say I didn't. I used to beat you up.
So Dominic, man, anything you'd like to say or wrap up the video? It's phenomenal, just phenomenal career, man.
Man, it's really emotional to see that for the first time, and I appreciate you
man,
digging
dude.
it up and giving me the opportunity to sit and share with you. I've probably one of the biggest things that I haven't done was share it a lot, and
Well, man, thank you. I really appreciate that. I mean, I do that. I think the charm of the series or the videos that we do is it's not on a professional soundstage. It's not scripted out. We don't have a teleprompter in front of us. It's just two guys talking about wrestling and whatever comes up. And what we've done, I think 156 videos now. 156 videos. Every video has been different. Everybody's had their own story. Everybody's had their own. Like tomorrow, like we're filming this on Thursday evening on March the 9th. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a memorial video for a gentleman that passed away earlier this month in March named Derek Mullet from Sheldon Clark. 40 years old, passed away. We had plans to do his video later this year, but he just passed away, and we're going to be doing a memorial video with his one of his teammates from 2001, and it's so the series is so widespread from our beginnings in Kentucky from 1964 to 2023. There were guys that come off the mat this year at the state tournament, 2023 state tournament. As soon as they saw me, it's like, dude, we got to do a review video, man. I'm more excited about doing the review video than winning. I was like, man, enjoy your championship. We'll get to the review video later. But
That's awesome.
Throughout the years, the 60 state tournaments that we have, we now have video of 33, full video of 33 of the 50 years, 55%. I think my last count was I had 438 matches of the 748. So we're over halfway of the actual match videos. And it's just being able to tell your guys stories that should have been told years ago.
Yeah, listen. Again, I tell you, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this opportunity, and so many people along the way. And I was grateful for Mike Fields when he had did the 2 major articles on me, and you can never say thanks enough to people that you cross to. I could never thank Coach Powell enough. I could never thank Coach Headley enough for making me stay in a room or encouraging me to stay in a room. I could never thank Craig Turnbull, the head coach of WVU, enough, or never thank Nate enough. I remember Nate being at my apartment at 6 a.m. to get me up to go drill. That was him. But to be able to go back and share the experiences and share some of the memorabilia, and name drop some people that helped you along the way. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. Now, before we go, one more, for maybe no matter what age, somebody starting off in wrestling, maybe somebody coming into their senior year, because you turned into a complete different animal from your junior to senior year. What little piece of advice, maybe you've not shared so far, would you give maybe somebody starting off, maybe somebody looking to place at state, win state next year? What would you tell them?
You can't undersell the drilling, and you got to get in, and you don't have to perfect 30 moves. I look back at that video, and everything I shot was a double leg takedown. It's either double or single, and so get you a good double, get you a good single, and perfect that. Drill it, and you get to a point to where that's your go-to move, and you can hit it on anybody. You'll start seeing the success roll in.
And I think that's take it from one of the best. Take it from the best in Kentucky history. And like I said, you can't buy this information, this knowledge, and just listening to the stories. So Dominic, man, thank you for having me here today, man. I really appreciate it. We're going to end it here. We kind of put out earlier in the year that we were going to be doing it. Some things fell through, but we were able to do it today. We're supposed to do it up northern Kentucky, but just couldn't make it work. But I think the way the universe worked it out today was where we're supposed to be. So, man,
That's right.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for having me. Whenever you confirmed you was going to do it, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe we're going to get to do it. So We're going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the mats.
All right. Thanks.